Hey everybody, it's Thursday night, which means it is time for Shop Talk. I am Josh Olive with Haven Comics, and we're going to be talking some comics and maybe a movie trailer or two. So stick around. Love that intro. I've always loved it. Really appreciate Nick Ellis of Two Brothers Comics putting that together for us. Nick will not be on tonight because his daughter is singing a solo in a school play or something for Christmas. So sing your heart out, little girl. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. Um, Alan will not be joining us tonight, at least not live. He may pop up in the chat. He is returning a very proud papa today. His oldest just graduated from basic with the Air Force. And so, congratulations to him. Salute to the young man who's going to make a go of it in the Air Force. And that's pretty spectacular. So, really happy for him. See who we got here in the chat. Tots. What's up, Tots? Good to see you, brother. James in the house. You know, it occurs to me, James, that we need to get you going on a good laugh where you just are cracking up. We need to record that and use that in our sound bar here on the show because that would be fantastic. Mike Wesolowski, what is happening, Mike? How you doing, brother? Hope everything is spectacular and well. Always good to see you. Yes, fly high. Indeed. And Matt Posey in the house. What's up, Matt? Hope everything is going good. Uh, I already had plans to talk about that trailer, and I have a guest coming on here shortly to do that very thing. So we'll get to that, I guess, when my guest arrives. Let me check and see where he is. It's hard being the only guy on here because Goofy Allen, where is that boy? I'm texting, which is very exciting TV. Speaking of TV, I found out we were at a little convention somewhere, and this little kid came up, and he's just looking at me like, wow. And he's talking. And I'm like, okay, I get that from people a lot because I'm a big dude, right? But I don't get the, like, wow, he's so famous thing. And I'm like, where is that coming from? That's bizarre. And I guess his mom could tell I had a quizzical look on my face. So she came over and she said he thinks you're famous, and I said why does he think I'm famous? And she said because they watched the show, they watched Shop Talk, but they cast it onto their TV, so it comes on TV instead of on their computer screen, and he thinks if you're on TV you're famous. So I am famous in their house, uh, and that's really the extent of my fame, I suppose. I look. Oh, wait, man. Well, thanks for popping on and saying, hey, hope you have fun. Roll a nat 20 or two um, and enjoy some great storytelling. That's awesome. Quite commanding on the Frozen ride. Yes, I did have fun at Disney World, and I appreciate you sticking with me there. Okay, I'll send a new one. My guest is trying to get on but having difficulties. Um, So let me do that real quick. Again, riveting television. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. Click, click, click. Boom. All right. And let it know. Just sent. Okay. Our guest has arrived, people, so we can start this off with a bang. We can talk about the thing that I know at least one of y'all is desperate to hear about, and that is the Superman trailer. But we can't talk Superman trailer without a certified Superman and movie expert. And so we have a certified Superman and movie expert in the house. You guys, welcome back, Aaron.
Oh my God. That was such an intro. Thank you so much. I love that. That was wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Oh, Mike. Yeah, bring it up. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We just got our shipment in Wednesday of Volume 2, and that's pretty awesome.
I am pulling up the chat on my second monitor here because I got my desktop actually set up so I can actually read the comments with you this time.
Oh, Aaron, see, you're getting the claps from James.
Oh my gosh. How is everything going though? I missed the first.
Hey, certified and certifiable are not mutually exclusive, sir.
Whoa. Let's see. Okay.
The comments are flying. Okay, let's start with the Superman and the trailer, and then we can talk about comics. How's that sound?
That's awesome. I'm going to mute my tab real quick so it doesn't overlay the audio with like a 30-second delay.
That is always fun. And
okay, now I have the comment section.
It stinks. But yes, so Superman trailer debuted today.
Yes.
What did you think?
It's everything I've been wanting for since I was like 5 years old. I wanted a Superman movie like this forever, and I'm thrilled. And I'm not saying that with any amount of professional bias at all. It's just great. It's just straight up great.
Okay, tell us why.
They've got the heart of it so down, and like it's so calibrated and meticulously like about uplifting people and spreading optimism and hope, and that's what Supers is always about for me. And I'm thrilled to like see that displayed so prominently.
That's interesting. Matt says he had to watch it a few times before it rattled his brain to like it.
I understand what you mean by that. Sure.
And Mike says the trailer with everyone looking up.
Yes. Yes, the one of just the floor of the Fortress of Solitude. That one drove me crazy because it had 2 teaser trailers for the teaser trailer.
The hope is shining in this trailer. That's a good way of saying it. So it opens with something flying through the air and smashing into the snow and ice. And that something is Superman.
Yes,
Mr. And he's laying there, battered and bloody. And you're thinking, all right, what could have put Superman in that position, and why in the world is that what we're opening with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it flashes to a few things, and then it comes back to him laying there battered and bloody, can't move. Like, he ain't moving.
No.
All he has the ability to do is whistle. And so he whistles. And then who shows up but Krypto of all people? And he says, "Take me home." And Krypto grabs him by the cape and presumably just drags him across the tundra.
Flies him across the tundra. Picks him up.
I just don't like the suit. That's my only issue. It's certainly not my favorite suit. There's something weirdly bulky about it. It's kind of strange. But if the acting is good and the story is good, I don't care about the suit.
Yeah.
Look who we got on the show. He never comes on here. Justin.
Krypto.
What's up, Justin?
Everybody shows up for Krypto the Super Dog.
I guess so. Krypto went out and rounded everybody up. He must have a little bit of one of those shepherd dogs in him.
Mm-hmm. He's certainly a mutt this time, isn't he, though?
Yes, very much so.
I don't know what he is. He's fluffy.
So let's talk through the trailer here some more. That's the main thing that's happening, and the other things are interstitials that are happening within that, right?
Yeah.
So talk through those interstitials. What are you thinking there? What got you excited about that?
Well, as like a comic book fan. I was really excited about like the quadrilogy of characters: Metamorpho, Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Green Lantern. I was very excited about the four of them.
I didn't see a Green Lantern. I just saw Guy Gardner.
So true. Like he had a little bit of green happening, not on his suit.
Hate Guy Gardner. Oh my god, I hate him.
Yeah.
And it's not just the haircut, although the haircut certainly doesn't do him any favors.
No, it does not. The worst haircut in fictional history, I think.
It's pretty terrible. And you could hardly even tell. It was such a quick glimpse that you would have to pause it and look to see who actually is playing Guy Gardner. Right? So you're like,
Mr.
Okay.
Firefly.
Yeah.
Does that sell it for anybody? Does anybody like feel better about it just because it's Nathan Fillion?
He had the logo on his coat. He did, but that doesn't make Guy Gardner a Green Lantern. I mean, I own like 12 Green Lantern rings. Okay, that doesn't do it. Guy Gardner is a terrible person, and I can't stand him. Mr. Terrific looked pretty awesome.
I'm really fascinated by the costume choice there because I didn't see Terrific up close at all, but like it's like a mask that's like spirit gummed to his face, and then there's another portion of it on his chin, and like it's just black lipstick to like make it look like it's one uniform piece. I always assumed that was face paint, like every time I've ever seen him. So to have it imagined as face paint plus spirit gum tea domino mask, I was like, oh, that's a very strange way of modernizing that, but okay. They sure are. There's a particularly poignant piece of nuance happening in why the Green Lantern is not wearing very much green in his costume and has the Max Lord like Apple Tech logo on his chest more prominently than his own lantern. Yeah.
Interesting. So Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner. I refuse to call him Green Lantern.
Fair enough.
Interesting characters to show up.
Yes.
And Daniel Major right out of the gate. Who is the robot Superman is holding?
That's one of his fortress robots, the ones that have like the Kryptonian memory crystal stuff. Yeah.
That reminds me, the Fortress of Solitude. We happen to have a little tiny fragment of the Fortress of Solitude at the store.
Sure do.
For anybody who wants to see it, it's a tiny fragment of the Fortress of Solitude from this movie.
Yep.
Okay, this is another good point here. It looks like he's taking a lot from the comics and showing it accurately.
Oh, he had a full-on mural in his office of like every single major comic book he was pulling from for covers for every character that's in the thing. And like all of our All-Star Superman and all of Superman for all seasons. It's gonna be great. Like those are very deliberate choices of where he's pulling from. Okay, I got to comment on this one real quick. Nicholas Hoult, when they were casting the movie, was auditioning for Superman himself, and he made it pretty far into the process from what I was able to glean. I think that's even funnier that that's your choice for Lex Luthor, because it's just going to make that animosity so much more palpable, and I am thrilled. Thrilled.
I don't want him to be acting. I want him to legitimately hate Corn Sweat.
Yes. Yes. It's not an act.
He stole my role.
He stole the role of a lifetime, and now I have to shave my head every year that I'm going to play this character for the rest of my life. God.
So why did they change it from LexCorp to Luthor Corps?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I didn't care for that.
I've been calling it LexCorp still. I've known it's been Luthor Corps for like a year. Still been calling it LexCorp in my brain. But
yeah. All right. So we're just like popping all over the place here, but walk us through some of your like the story that's going on in that trailer.
Oh boy. So there's kind of a lot happening concurrently. The main focus, if you're like worried that it's going to be too much dispersed all over the place, it is very fundamentally Clark and Lex and their beef together. We're starting a little bit later into Superman's career here. He's been Superman for a little bit. Ooh, she does. I was going to bring that up because she's so like, she's this much of the screen. Like maybe even this much of the screen, but she is in it. Oh This is just, it's just really exciting. It's just going to be very slice of life. I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. Interesting that the person in the black suit is the person that you say for that, because that's certainly not a cape on his back, is it? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot happening, but it's going to be really fun. I think James said this morning it's going to be 2.5 hours, so it's a lot of movie. But I'm very excited because this is a lot of stuff to keep in a movie, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm thrilled, and I'm elated, and I'm overjoyed. But I do think
thrilled, elated, and overjoyed.
Yes, all three together on top of each other.
Are you excited also?
No, I'm very excited.
Justin says it needs to be 6 hours. Don't worry, they'll give him a couple $1 million to make a 6-hour version after the fact.
Oh yeah. I don't even know if James will have that much footage, to be honest. He's very direct about what he wants, and he does not tend to do a lot more than that. Like, he goes in with the goal. So I don't think there's going to be like a lot of director's cut footage in this. But I'm really, really excited about it. But it's fundamentally, it's Clark and it's Lex and it's Lois. And the other three, and like the Max Lord of it all, and the engineer, and all the other stuff, like that is supporting casts for the choice that Superman has to find his way in between.
Interesting. So go ahead.
No, you're good. What were you gonna say?
I was just looking at Daniel's memory of a reference to Luthor Corps.
Is it maybe like a Smallville kind of thing where it's like Lionel Luthor's company was Luthor Corps, and that was what Lex inherited, and then he makes it Lex Corps? Is it something like that, or have I just seen too much Smallville?
That certainly could be.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly the hope.
Yes,
I think that's exactly what they want it to do.
There's a lot of. I'm really excited. This is a really fun time to get into it too, because like we have Creature Commandos now, or at least half of it. So like you can see really clearly where that line in the sand is getting drawn between what we're keeping and what we're not keeping. And I am thrilled. Hi, Lisa. Hello.
Leslie also bade me tell you hello as well.
I say hello back in the same cheerful, chipper tone. But no, I'm really excited. Like this is a really fun time to reestablish a basis and build from the ground up and exactly tear apart and set new ground, with some really awesome actors doing some really awesome work in some really phenomenally epic set designs, doing just some cool stuff. It's just cool stuff.
Now, I know you can't comment on anything that you saw, and I don't want to intrude on that, but you can confirm that you got a tour of the set for Superman, correct?
I got a tour of about 5 or 6. Yeah, 5 or 6 of the sets. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They filmed on location for a lot of it. All of the exteriors of Metropolis are filmed in Cleveland, which a lot of Cleveland people I saw like in the comments were like, "Oh my God, that's my office building."
That's actually a really good point that we haven't talked about yet. The John Williams original score. That was clearly a deliberate choice.
Yeah.
And an interesting one, not to come at it with something new and flashy or whatever, but that classic score that instantly connects you to something. Is that just in the trailer, do you think, or is that actually going to be used in the movie?
Well, it was in the teaser poster as well, so I think it's used fairly prominently.
How did they have a musical score in a teaser poster?
They had it behind. It was like a motion poster with like the cape billowing and like the lights. And then they had about 40 seconds of music playing over it as like an Instagram.
So it was a Hogwarts poster. Got it.
Yeah, Hogwarts poster. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that's how you need to explain these things to me.
But they played it as a like a choir. It was like a woman singing it. It was really beautiful and very angelic, and they released that probably 2 days ago. And it was great. And instead of "You'll believe a man can fly," the tagline is "Look up," which I'm crying. That's so beautiful. Real quick.
Or even justice in the universe will be had if Gunn doesn't somehow bring Swamp Thing front and center in the DC universe. I agree with that. Swamp Thing needs to happen.
Well, Daniel, really wonderful piece of news I can bring to you. There's a Swamp Thing movie happening with James Mangold, who directed Logan. It's happening.
Your wish has been heard and granted.
There it is.
You must not have been naughty this year, and frankly, that surprises me.
Yep. Alec Holland, they're doing the Alan Moore run. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Also, it's the same composer doing the score. That's John Murphy, the same guy who did the score for the Guardians 3, the Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker.
Okay.
It's gonna be really fun. So it's gonna be like that big, larger than life. Gunn said he's not doing as many. They're not doing as many needle drops this time, like with the Guardians movies, where they're gonna like play some '70s song. Like it's written for the score to be the musical highlight of the piece, which I'm really excited about. You're so welcome. I'm so happy I could bring that news to you.
When is that supposed to come out?
Movie. I have no idea. James Mangold was doing press for his Bob Dylan movie that comes out at Christmas, which is very good. And he said that he's not steering the ship as prominently on that one. So that is still in flux, but it's happening. It's going to be fun. Probably in like 3-4 years.
So it's a ways down the road, Daniel, but it is coming.
Something to look forward to. And it will be this beautiful, like it'll look like Logan. It's going to be great. Like a Logan style movie for Swamp Thing.
That works. I hope they borrow some of the material. I mean, certainly from Alan Moore, but I hope they borrow some of the material from some of the more recent writers too, because Swamp Thing has had some really great stories the past few years. It's really, really good.
I don't know if I've read beyond the New 52 solos for him, and that was admittedly mostly because of Constantine, but I'm with you.
You need to read, what was it called? The Swamp Thing Midwinter Special or something like that. That came out a couple of years ago. It was
Black Label?
One shot. Do what?
Was that Black Label?
I think it was Black Label, but it was just a one shot. It was a regular size format. It wasn't the larger format that Black Label did there to start. But I want to say it was written by Tom King. The art was by Jason Fabok. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Really interesting book. And Daniel, you're welcome to come up to the shop and drool over that Swamp Thing commission that I've got up on the wall there anytime you want.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh, can you pull up Matt's comment real quick?
This last one, yeah.
The Constantine one. So there's not locked in plans for Constantine proper. They are doing a Keanu Reeves sequel, though. I would love Matt Ryan to continue. I love his take on Constantine so much. Like, I was one of maybe 15 people that watched Legends of Tomorrow like weekly, and they continued him in that show. I love Matt Ryan's Constantine, but I don't know. I would hope so. I think he's.
I have to bring this up for just a second because Heather Locklear.
That's a nice get.
Boy, did I have a crush on her for the longest time. What do you mean? I still do. What am I saying?
My cat may be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
My cats are kind of circling me. I think they want to come and say hello at some point.
Well, cats are always welcome. That'll make Kaylisa jump back on and say something.
Mason.
She'll be like, kitty sighting, yay!
It will not be Mason. Am I sorry?
Yeah, James, I will say one of the key differences I see here between Snyder and this is clearly like positive and hopeful. And Zack Snyder, he's a fine filmmaker in many respects. His vision for Superman just didn't jive with the character of Superman. This dark and gritty, that's not Superman. No. Superman would never tolerate people like bending the knee to him. He would absolutely put a stop to that. All this stuff is just, it's not Superman. Superman needs to be light and optimistic and hopeful. Batman has enough darkness and shadow for anybody. Let him be that. Let Superman be the hope, and let Wonder Woman be that tempered steel in between the two of them. They call them a trinity for a reason, and that's because they work well together when they are each in their own role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw someone make a tagline in the style of "Look Up" for Superman, and they proposed it to the rest of the Trinity. And so it was Superman was "Look Up," Batman was "Look Around," and Wonder Woman was "Look Within." And I appreciated that very much. It's not anything from a comic book or anything, but I was like, dang, that is some good stuff.
That is good. I like Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves was not John Constantine.
No.
He is not John Constantine.
I do like the crucifix shotgun, though. Just not for John Constantine, but I do like the crucifix shotgun. I'm really
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Good on you. Look at you with your introspection and personal growth.
I love that. It's just so fun. I'm really excited to like see DC in the era where they're not afraid to adapt their characters as like bombastically as they can. Like starting a Superman movie, which is really your start to the universe, with Metamorpho and Crypto the Superdog, is setting a precedent. And I'm very excited. And even like Creature Commandos, like all of the prisoners in Belle Reve around them are like very strange Silver Age, maybe 5 or 6 appearances a piece, just like off the wall loony kind of characters. And that has me thrilled about how authentically they can portray all of the mainstays. Like if you're doing Congo Rilla with that much respect, things in good hands, you know?
So my question is he going to have Jimmy Olsen marry a gorilla at any point? Because that happened in the comic books.
Listen, Gorilla Grodd was in Creature Commandos this week. I think anything's possible. Also, the kid that's playing Jimmy Olsen is amazing. He's a fantastic actor, and I'm really excited to see what he does with it. And he has the watch. He has the Superman watch in the trailer, which I did not know.
Yeah, that right there, Matt. That's if he can do that, that will be this movie is going to be extraordinarily successful.
Yep.
There's going to be some haters who are like, "Oh, it's DC, therefore it equals terrible." Like, guys, get your heads out of your butts.
It's also
it's like Aladdin, guys. It's a whole new world.
An entirely new regime, entirely new people. Like, we're keeping the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker Season 1, and Blue Beetle. And everything else is a fresh slate to do anything they want to do. And they're very willing to do anything. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Crypto is just a mutt.
He is a mutt.
I can tell. He's just a mutt.
So James has talked publicly about this too. The dog that he adopted a dog as he was writing Superman. It was like and the dog is like this strange little mutt of indeterminate origin named Uzo, and the Crypto that you see in the film looks like Uzo, minus like the fur color is changed to match Crypto's look, but like the weird floppy ears and the scruffy face and like the skinny body, he based it off of his own dog that came into his life as he was writing that movie. And I think that's delightful. And Crypto is going to be incredibly chaotic in it. Like he's not necessarily the best well-behaved dog in the world. It's lovable chaos. I would love that. I would love that very much. I think that would be fantastic.
What do you think the chances are that would happen?
I think very high. Unofficially, I genuinely know nothing about that, but I would love it. I think that would be great. And I think Jason Momoa has talked about, like, he knows it. James Gunn knows it. Like, this has been publicly discussed with them too. So I think they know. So I would think that would be very likely.
Yep, that's correct.
There's a really funny bit. Somebody in Cleveland, when they were filming outside, has a very small video that they found of Mr. Terrific getting shot in the foot with Crypto's laser beam. And I think that's so funny.
That's hysterical.
I'm like, please, I would watch 2.5 hours of just that. Yeah. I think we would see other movies. There is a lot riding on it though, for sure. And I think like this movie individually sets up like 4 other movies. Not that it's, necessarily dependent upon those other 4, But like, yeah, no, I think that's a fair assessment.
That's an interesting casting choice. I could see that.
I don't think I know who that is off the top of my head. Oh, there she is. Whoop, backwards. Sorry, say hi. Anyway,
Oh, and you got another Superman related question.
I did. I don't know who won though. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the bell to ring.
Well, see, what had happened was
Mhm.
Justin had his pockets full of kryptonite.
Oh, I see.
So Justin was cheating.
For shame. But he won. He won an arm wrestling match with Superman, and I think that counts for something.
But he did it by cheating, which is the only way you could do it. So,
I mean, it's like Lex Luthor's mecha suit. Like, it's gonna happen. It's fine. That's fine.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
You play the cards you dealt. You know, you have enough
Yeah.
kryptonite in your pocket.
So,
yeah,
like top 3, your biggest takeaways from this trailer. Maybe things that were new to you, things that you didn't already know that you learned here, or things that you knew about but you didn't know how they were going to be executed or what they were going to look like, or just general basics of what, like top 3, maybe top 5 if you need them. Things that you walked away from this trailer going like, wow.
The fact that there's a kaiju in Metropolis makes my soul so happy. I don't think Reeves ever got to do something like that, and I don't think that they've put a kaiju in Metropolis before, which is crazy because that's like the thing that Superman does. And I'm thrilled at seeing what that looks like. Also, because that's the shot where the foot comes down and Superman like grabs the child at top speed, and the world kind of goes in slow motion as he goes to get the kid. Like that was just peak. Like that's Superman. There it is. That's I think been the thing that stuck with me the most because I'm like, oh my god, something so simple, but they finally did it. And I'm just really excited for Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. And like you can see some of David Cornsweat's physicality changing between Superman and Clark, like really quickly. Like the suit is tailored really big, and he hunches over, and he's got the glasses, and he's darting his eyes all over the place, and he's very unassuming, and he's just this like cute little nerd. Like
with his big floppy hair.
Big floppy hair, and then I loved the scene where he's running through the street to like get to the Daily Planet on time with his like briefcase and everything, and all of the extras that are in that scene are a good 6-7 inches shorter than him. It's just so good. It's just so funny. Like this, it's very visually. It's like very visually. The visuals are very well kept in mind for describing the personality. So it's not I've taken off my glasses and now I'm a different person. Like I don't think they're going to run into those jokes as often, or at least they will, but they'll be like jokes of past media, not something that this movie is presenting. Yeah.
To answer your question, Matt, I don't think so. That's not how comics typically work, right? What they'll do is they'll change how Tony Stark looks to look more like Robert Downey Jr., or they'll change a costume tweak here or there, but they're not going to spin off a whole new universe like they just did with Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, all that, and call it the Gunverse or anything like that. They're not going to do that.
Do you think
they might integrate some of the elements from the movies, but even then, those don't typically last very long.
Do you think we'll get the New 52 collar again?
I hope not. I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how people react to the Kingdom Come S being his symbol, because it looks like that's just the family crest in this universe and is not like the decision to change it that he had in Kingdom Come. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all if Supergirl had the same emblem. So I'm very curious to see, because it's like in the fortress and it looks like that. So like I'm very curious to see how people respond to it, because it does look like the S, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. So
yep.
And like it takes me a minute to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's the S. Like obviously it's Superman, but it's not like where's the S shape in it? In the wide shots, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah,
that's true. They have a plenty of material to choose from. So hewing closely to the source material would be a good idea. And I think Gunn does a good idea of incorporating source material but with an original storyline. He's usually good about that. Let's see here.
There's going to be so much in this DCU already. They've planned, I think, 13 or 14 projects from the jump over the course of the next like maybe five years. And it is really like all aspects of the DC universe, with the exception of maybe the Mystic. The Mystic stuff isn't as in focus, but like they just greenlit a Sergeant Rock movie. Like, and like a Clayface solo film.
That makes no sense to me. That one reeks of Morbius and Madam Web to me. That's a weird choice.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's Mike Flanagan who did Dr. Sleep and The Haunting of Hill House, and it's gonna be freaky, weird body horror, Cronenbergy, shapeshift madness, and I'm thrilled. Not because Clayface is my favorite Batman villain. That has nothing to do with it. How dare you say that?
Yeah, methinks you protest too much. Matt Posey, are you suggesting that the tiny little sliver of the Fortress of Solitude we have at the store is not enough for you?
You can hold it in your hand. It's there. Go get it.
No. He is many things, but he is not Sergeant Rock.
Sergeant the Rock. I'm people who want a Clayface movie. I don't know if there's more than just me, but I'm hyped about it. I would imagine
it's a good question.
Probably Basil's from the animated series, I would guess. Because they've cited that in the press release. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was your favorite part of the trailer? I didn't ask.
It's kind of a weird answer, but it wasn't a favorite part of the trailer. It was a favorite aspect of the trailer, which was the overall vibe.
Yes. Yes.
I liked the vibe of the trailer. It wasn't any one thing. It was just the way it was presented in general.
There is overarching elements and there is like continuity between them, but it's not like what we're used to out of the MCU, where it's this movie directly ties into this one, and then we'll build to an Avengers. There's overarching plot elements and there's overarching like history that influences the rest of them, but it is mostly one-off to highlight certain characters in certain places. Like Argus is pretty consistent between them. Hi, there she is. Told you she'd come.
There you go, Kaylee. So we have a cat sighting.
She's freaking out. Hi, honey. This is Zari. Zari, say hello, audience. Your adoring fans.
She's gotten so big since the last time I saw her.
She really did. She's a big old lady.
Yeah, here you go. Here's Kaylee.
But no, it's going to be really fun. It's mostly like whatever fits the character is going to be the vibe, because all of them, like between Superman and Peacemaker and Sergeant Rock and Clayface and the Themysciran show and whatever they do with Batman, like it's going to be whatever tone fits those characters rather than like the style of the film continuity that we presented. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited.
So speaking of Peacemaker.
Yes.
There are elements of Peacemaker season 2 that come directly out of the Superman movie. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we share a good bit of continuity with them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't call us a sequel. I wouldn't call us a spinoff. We're definitely pulling more from season 1 than we are from anything else, but it's going to be really fun. And it honestly, like, I think it's written to the point where it will help if you have seen Superman, but if you haven't, then you'll be fine. Like maybe watch the first season, you know.
Why does Justin keep bringing this guy up? Who is that?
I have no idea. I don't know who Ethan Peck is. I don't think they've casted for Batman at all yet, or at least not publicly. And I've not heard anything.
That right there.
Well, I think calling the Batman script The Brave and the Bold is the piece that kind of sells that for me. So I have a lot of faith in that. And I think because also this on-screen Batman will contrast a lot with the Robert Pattinson version. And the DCU has a ton of metahumans because they started their continuity with the Bride of Frankenstein and Cersei and giant kaijus and Hawkgirl and Metamorpho. So I think having a Batman that exists in that space, especially with like a Clayface origin movie, like I think there will be enough stylistically different between the two that I hope we don't run into that again. It's just like detective, father, metahuman, or metahumans involved Batman.
Oh, on Strange New Worlds. Okay.
Oh, I
was
see.
like, Spock on what? I don't know what you're talking
Maybe
about.
younger than I would think. Like, I think the run that they're pulling from, or at least the one that they were pulling art from when they announced the piece, was the run that introduced Damian Wayne. So I would think it would probably be an older Batman, but I don't know. That would be interesting. I don't know if they would go that young again. We kind of did that. I feel like they would want to separate from Pattinson as much as possible in order to like prevent confusion, I guess. But we're comic book people. We know what's up right now.
That's a great way to describe it.
Gumbo.
A whole bunch of standalone parts that all work when you put them together somehow.
Yeah, a lot of flavor.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I also don't know who Jonathan Bailey is. So
Jonathan Bailey is Fiyero in Wicked, and he's going to be like the leading face on the Jurassic Park movie that comes out next summer. He's darling. I don't think he's a Batman personally. I don't know. He's a little too like chipper and cutesy. I don't know.
Well, you know, I have learned not to judge people too harshly on things like, because I would have told you going into it that Chris Evans would be a terrible Steve Rogers.
Fair enough.
Because all you ever saw of him was petulant, hothead,
playboy
jerk, smart aleck. You never got pure, earnest goodness.
That's the art of the craft.
And that's what he absolutely gives you as Steve Rogers. And that made those movies for me. Because he was Captain America. He was absolutely quintessentially Captain America.
Speaking of, we'll have to circle back to the Secret Wars news here in a bit.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it now.
Did you see that Deadline said that he's going to be in the next one? That Sevens is back too?
JP movie. What is JP?
JP? What is the JP movie?
I don't know.
The JP movie. Oh, Jurassic Park. Yes. Jurassic Park. Yes. Rebirth comes out in July. I think actually it's weird. So it'll be a really packed week at the box office because it'll be Superman July 11th, Jurassic Park the next week, and then Fantastic Four the week after.
I hear you, Daniel. I hear you, brother.
Fair. Like that'll be the craziest month, I think, of box office juggernauts ever. And I hope that they don't suffocate each other out because I'm going to get Superman and Fantastic Four within 2 weeks of each other. I don't know if my heart can stomach the strain of just that's going to give me. Especially with the concept art that just got promoted, or the promo art that got put online last week of them in their suits.
I haven't seen that.
God, I'll send it to you.
You're slipping. You haven't shared any of this stuff with me. What's up?
Fair enough. I am slipping. I'll just show you. It's so good. It's just like a sticker, like a promotional sticker, but like it's got them in their costumes. And you can see that it's Johnny's super suit has the sweater etching and like
the vertical lines on it. Yeah,
vertical lines from the Kirby run, and it's going to be great. And Pedro Pascal's doing the Alex Ross like arms crossed pose, and the Thing is in a turtleneck, and Sue looks incredible. It's just awesome.
Well, I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be good.
Me too.
I'm just saying, why are they still Jurassic? Can they not move on to the Pleistocene era or some other, like, there were other time periods, the Triassic Park? I mean, come on, guys.
Cretaceous Park. That may be before Jurassic. I don't know. I don't know dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's just like, move on, people. You can do this.
I think it's Jurassic World Rebirth, I think is what they're calling it. So it's still like the world banner, but it's a totally new cast. It's Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, and Scarlett Johansson. So it's like a brand new cast of people.
So why is Blade in Jurassic Park?
I don't know. Why is Black Widow?
I have questions. There's clearly they're infiltrating something, obviously.
Somebody write a one shot of Blade getting stuck in the Savage Land, then make it get published before Jurassic Park comes out.
That would be hysterical. What a great idea.
Just got a sword and like a can-do attitude.
And he has to get rescued by Black Widow.
Got these giant fangs. It's gonna be great.
He's like, look at my fangs, I'm bad. And all these other animals are like, look at my fangs.
Also, to answer your question, Matt, the Blade movie has not even been filmed yet. So
no, it's not gonna happen.
I don't know. I really don't know. I would want it, but I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't see any way that it's gonna happen. No. It's been too long and it's been too messy, and it's clear that they don't have an idea at all of what to do with it.
I really want one. I want one because I want the Midnight Suns more than anything, I think. And
the Midnight Suns would have potential.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the direction that they're going at all.
I don't even know if you could do that without Blade, because like you need box office money to make that a movie. And unless you have Doctor Strange or Blade in it, you don't have any like box office headliners. And that would make me
showed he could do it.
Well, I want Mahershala Ali. It's crazy. We're getting Mahershala Ali as Blade for the first time in the Marvel Zombies show that comes out in October. So we're getting a what if Blade before real Blade, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's not right.
I just want to see Blade. What are we doing?
Old man Blade, like old man Logan. Yeah, that would be
pretty fun.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes made a heck of a Blade, and he made it. He showed that you could do a serious comic book based movie and do it right. Surely did.
I love that people don't know that Blade is a comic book character because of those movies. They just think it's like a Matrix thing or like an original piece that came out.
I would watch that.
I need Jericho Drumm in the MCU more than anything. I needs more magic. That was my big takeaway. I was like, I got an Agatha Harkness TV show. I needs more magic. There's not been hardly enough magic for me. I needs the magic.
Okay, I'm going to use that as a segue into talking about some comic books.
Let's do it.
Because there's a new comic that just hit the stands this week. We have had the creator, or I guess one of the folks responsible for this comic, on the show a few times. He's been to the store. And that is Joe Pruitt, formerly of Aftershock and all this. He started up a new company. They're going to do a series of one-shots. And the first one came out this week. It's written by Garth Ennis, creator of The Boys, and art by Mike Perkins, who just did that Batman First Night, or whatever that story was called. That 3-issue oversized miniseries that was so good earlier this year.
Oh, yes.
Where it was like a year 2 Batman, kind of early time frame. And that book is called Freddy the Fix.
That's a great title. I love that.
I was trying to think of how would I describe this book to somebody who was like, what is it about? And I had a really hard time figuring out how to describe this. It's kind of like The Boys meets John Constantine. It's a comedy.
With a what?
It's bizarre.
There's a werewolf in it too. I see.
Oh yeah. That's why I said the boys meet the Freddy the Fix is a cleaner.
He's a fixer.
For the rich and insane in a world that is full of vampires and werewolves and every other thing you can think of.
I assume the deathly pale woman on the cover is a vampire.
That would be correct.
Understood.
And he gets called right out of the gate. He gets called to clean up a hotel room where an actor has killed somebody because he morphed into a werewolf in the middle of the action.
If that could make its way into box 113, I'd be greatly appreciative.
And it is extremely graphic, this book.
Oh, I would expect nothing less from the boys.
Very much the boys.
Yep.
I'm sold. Stick one in my box. You got it. It's kind of made that much worse because Mike Perkins has such a good, like, photorealistic art style that the of it is that much more
like entrails and stuff.
All of it. All of it. The people transforming into weird stuff. The carrying. Oh, I forgot there are also dinosaurs and like Creature from the Black Lagoon monsters.
Oh, okay.
When I say everything you can think of, it's all in here.
Word. That's awesome.
But yeah.
That's the trifecta, isn't it? Vampires, werewolves, and dinosaurs.
Pretty much.
That's the third thing. Not anything else. Just those are the three.
But yeah, it's
like the ghost of the dead guy showing up is fair game. Like, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you more about this. This is utterly bizarre.
And is that a one shot or is that a limited?
It's a one shot. All of the books from this company are going to be one shots.
Oh,
the next book coming out from these guys, I want to look up the name of it because they've got it's called Stay Out of the Woods.
Great title. I'm in. Say no more.
It's written by Joe Pruitt with art by Butch Geis.
Just kidding. You should keep saying more. This is great.
Right? And it comes out February 26th. Just look at this cover. Just this monstrous thing looming in the back of those stark woods.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes.
But the company is called Ninth Circle, as in like the Ninth Circle of Hell.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's a tone setter.
But yeah, this is an utterly bizarre book. But I'll make sure. Okay. I will actually text right now to make sure that you guys all get it. This is fantastic.
This is awesome.
Joe Pruitt will be very happy.
That sounds awesome.
So I don't forget. Dude, I'll do it right now. You keep talking because this is not fun for people to watch me do.
Okay. I saw a Christmas movie that I've not seen before. I saw it on a Paramount Plus.
So it wasn't Red One?
No, it wasn't Red One.
Have you seen Red One?
Not yet. I'm going to watch it this week.
Red One is a hoot.
I'm terrified. I think it's either going to make me like dumber or it's going to make me like a billion times happier. Like it's going to be one of the two.
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Fair enough. Like I'm either going to be like overthinking like the ever living daylights out of it, or I'm going to have the time of my life and just be like, I'm on a roller coaster of just buffoonery and this is great. I saw Dear Santa, which is a Paramount Plus movie with.
Oh, is it the Dear Satan?
Yeah, it's called Dear Santa.
With Jack Black?
Yeah, because they play it straight. It's a little dyslexic boy writes a letter to Santa Claus, and he spells it wrong on the envelope, and the devil shows up in his bedroom then, like that very night to answer his Christmas wish. And it's a complete screwball comedy. The kid playing the 11-year-old is great. It's just so funny and like weirdly heartfelt in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I was like, this is great. This is a great time. I love Christmas movies that do weird stuff in the genre, and having Jack Black playing dual role Satan pretending to be Santa, but still acting quite devilishly is very good. Because the kid does not know that is Satan until like a good 45 minutes in. It's just really good. It's just really fun.
I've debated watching that one, so I guess I'll check it out.
It's just fun. It's just a good like turn your brain off. This is gonna be cute movie.
Yes, he does, and I love Mike Kaluta. He is one of the coolest people. Really, really like him, and I'm excited to see his cover for that too. But Butch Guice is also one of my favorite modern comic book artists. The guy's a genius. He's incredible. All right, so I got a little stack of comics here.
Let's do it. Shop talk.
Where do we want to start? Let's start with the most recent Wonder Woman. How about that?
Okay.
Wonder Woman. Very heavily features Detective Chimp.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I think it's pretty obvious from this issue. Tom King had an absolute blast writing Wonder Woman. Or writing Detective Chimp.
Yeah.
He loved it. He's very Columbo in that he clearly knows more than he's letting on, but he's playing such an idiot, and he's so infuriating because he just keeps popping up and changing the topic and going off to the point where he's all part of Wonder Woman's plan to get revenge on the Sovereign for what he has done and for killing Steve Trevor.
Right.
And if revenge is a dish best served cold, then Wonder Woman is having a freaking ice cream sundae. And the way that she has gone about doing it in the previous issue, she sent people on individual missions to take out key things that were important to the Sovereign. And just boom, one after the other, boom, one after the other, hitting them. Well, this one, she sends in Detective Chimp.
Her Justice League Dark.
Of all people.
Yes.
And Detective Chimp is investigating the death of Steve Trevor and trying to it's obvious to us because we know Detective Chimp. He's trying to lead the Sovereign into a trap, right? But the Sovereign just thinks he's a buffoon and an idiot, so he's just like, would you go away, you stupid thing? Ah! And every time he shows up, it's just another awkward conversation, and they're just so painfully awkward. Until finally something happens and it turns out. But yeah, Wonder Woman is getting her revenge, but it is painfully drawn out. Okay. I got a text back from Tom saying, Aaron wants Freddy the Fix? I didn't expect him to read horror comics.
I like them in places. I haven't read The Sacred Damned yet. I'm very excited to. I've had the book for like a month and I haven't opened it yet. But I do like horror comics in places.
But Wonder Woman is fantastic. Really, really good book. Continues to be amazing. Really digging it. Ultimate Spider-Man number 12.
I'm so excited about this issue. I'm so excited. Yes.
This continues to be a phenomenally well-written book.
Yes.
I continue to say, is there ever going to be any action that occurs in this book?
Yeah. No.
Because it's sure not happening. In the early going, when he introduced Shocker.
Yeah.
And you had some little comedic moments and things. I would like more of that. I love this, but this is just like getting nothing but turkey and dressing and never getting any dessert. I want some dessert. Give me something fun. Give me some action. It doesn't matter how good the turkey and dressing is. After a while, you just want some dessert. At least put some cranberry sauce on it. This is fantastic. This is great. It's just moving so painfully slowly. I need more speed. It's hard to complain about it because as an issue, it's great. There are family dynamics happening here. that you're like, oh my God, Mary Jane's sister comes back, her mom is in here, and there's just like, whoa, it's a mess. But like awesome. Uncle Ben's wearing an ugly Christmas sweater. I mean, there's great stuff that happens in this. I just need more action. Give me something. It can't be issue after issue of missed phone calls and, oh, have you seen anybody? It's just one of those like, come on, man. I know you got it in you, Hickman. Give me the action. Throw me a bone here.
Yeah. I'm going to binge read Gods this week, I think. And I'm very curious to see if that is maintained through that book as well, which I think it probably will.
It is.
Yeah. It seems very cerebral.
It's kind of his MO. He doesn't want to tell a story so much as he wants to build a thing that you can marvel at. I'm like, it is marvelous. It's amazing, but I want the story too.
House of X, I think, was bettered from that, though, because of how much of a political thriller it was.
Oh, House of X and Powers of X was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. That was great. You can't go wrong with that. It was just what happened after that went terrible.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Hello. Welcome one and all to the Absolute Universe. Mrs. Selena Kyle, everyone. I'm so excited. So excited.
This is the childhood version of Selena Kyle.
On the cover?
No, in the book.
Oh.
It's when they're kids.
Oh, I thought they were showing us adult Selena Kyle.
Nope.
I want the Catwoman. No.
It's all when they're kids.
Oh, I saw all the press release talking about Selena in the issue, and I was like, Catwoman, yes. Okay. Wait. It's good. I'll wait. I can be patient. It'll be worth it.
I will say, where they're still making their getaway from the last issue in the Bahonkin Batmobile.
The Bat bulldozer.
Yeah, that thing.
I don't even know what it is.
It's some kind of weird construction thing.
We could have somebody ID that government vehicle so I could figure out how to put a bat in front of it.
The funny bit here is Alfred says, we need to abandon this thing and find a vehicle that can go fast. And Bruce says, I'll pretend you didn't say that. And then starts hitting buttons. And there's a sudden screech of hydraulics. The rumble of 600 tons of steel shifting on its chassis as it transforms. It's a freaking transformer.
Transforming into what, pray tell?
That.
I don't even know what I'm looking at. What is that?
That's a much more sleek Batmobile than the giant construction deal.
It still looks like a giant tank.
It is enormous because it can't change its size.
Yeah.
But it started like this big moving dumpster here.
Oh, they don't shed parts of it. It like all of it transforms into one like cohesive piece. It's not like a spaceship like separating parts of it
while moving.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Batman.
It's embracing the comic bookedness of it.
Good.
The Bat Bruiser. That's a good name for it, James. There's some interesting things that happen here. Batman's getting into some of the what's going on, what's behind all the people. He's finding out some of the technology that's inside the masks that all these people are wearing, stuff like that. Oh, and if you remember my question about where in the world can he hide that Batmobile? In the water. He just drives it off a pier.
Huh? I thought he was using some like abandoned construction site as his base of operations.
That's where it was first found, but then he blew that construction site up.
And then drove it into the pier?
Then drove it off the pier into the water.
Also, I gotta say, I love the Absolute Universe taking a singular character and making them like a militia of people with specific regalia, like making the Black Mask a gang with like Court of Owls masks is so cool. And Absolute Superman doing the same for Peacemaker as like a private militia with crazy high-tech stuff. I love that. That's awesome. That's like one of the coolest like gimmicky reinventions of a character you could possibly do. But I'm in it every single time. I'm there.
Oh yeah, it's great. But you get to see some conversation between Bruce and his mom.
Good. I love that she's in the
They've got
book.
this ongoing thing that keeps cutting back to with Bruce as a kid, with Selena Kyle as a kid.
Good.
Martha and Wayne her dragging him to an old black and white movie.
Yeah.
It says Zorro.
Yeah. Martha Wayne hasn't had a comic book appearance, I think, since, or like they've not done anything with her since like the Flashpoint Joker Martha, and I don't like it. So I'm very excited that they're doing other things with her at long last.
Yeah, she's the way this is written, she's a very interesting character, and I think ultimately what you're going to see is a lot of the Batman backbone, the standing up to overwhelming power and odds, comes from her.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Which I like more than making her like an Arkham or giving her a family history with like the inmates. Like I like that more.
Oh yeah, that's another thing you find out in here. Arkham.
Huh?
It's not Arkham, it's Arkham. And there's also an Arc A, Arc B, Arc C, Arc D.
Is this a government program or is this a mental health facility? Generous thing to call Arkham Asylum, by the way, but
sure,
very generous loose terms. What are you saying? What is the Arc A, Arc B? What are these?
You'll find out.
You and your riddles.
No, Posey. That's okay. We'll see you on Saturday, bud, and it'll be great.
Party time.
If Batman was bitten by Man-Bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you will not have read this one.
No, but tell me everything.
Well, I would like to officially go on record. Everyone take note. I was correct and Alan was incorrect.
Good.
His desperate plea for rock and roll to not be dead has gone unanswered. Rock and roll, be dead. That's it. He's toast. Now,
Gonzo.
There's some other interesting things that happen in here. People who get injured, people who go missing, people who show up later as you're like, well, I wondered where that guy got off to, and now you know.
And this is the Energon Universe's G.I. Joe?
Matt laughing. He did. Yeah, he did. It's G.I. Joe, so it's great. We all knew you said except wrong. See, yeah, that's exactly right. Alan was wrong. This is an interesting, I believe this is the first appearance of the Valkyries in comics. The Valkyries are like going through the battle and just taking out the wounded, just killing them. And when somebody, Duke or whatever's like, what are they doing? And he's like, they're Valkyries. It's what they do. They send people to Valhalla.
It's menacing.
So you get the Valkyries.
My Thor comics could never.
Like this.
Are these characters from the animated series? Or you said this is their first time in comics. Where were they previously?
Well, honestly, I don't know where they first showed up. I don't remember. I do know that people have been clamoring for more female characters on Cobra's ranks because there's just not that many. And so this was a way of creating, just like the plain vanilla Cobra soldier, but having female versions of that and giving them a purpose in this comic is really interesting.
That's really cool. I like that like Strike Force a lot.
Yeah, But this is full of action. This is people trying to save other people. This is people getting like badly injured trying to save other people. And it's not necessarily the people you might think. You're like, you can't do that to that person. And there's one point in here where I'm pretty sure Alan's going to throw the comic across the room. Like, you can't do that to that particular person, but
Good.
they did.
Good.
They done did it.
Yes.
They done did it. Now, you might be reading this one. I don't know.
I have heard great tale about this issue. This is the 1 year in recap of the Maker almost getting out of his cage, or his prison box he's put himself in.
This is an extremely powerful issue, and I do not want to spoil the ending of it because this story hits really hard. And you're like, oh.
Is this a one shot, or is this going to be like a 2 or 3 issue thing?
It's a one shot.
Fury at the center.
It's a one shot.
Okay.
The next issue that kind of picks up where this left off is Ultimate Wolverine #1.
Oh, amazing. Fantastic. Okay, I'm in.
Yes.
Also, so nice to see Fury Senior again. That's been a minute.
It has been a long time. The story they tell here, though, is so painful. You're like, oh my god.
No,
I do love the little, like, the curvy lines and stuff that are the old throwback to Jim Steranko doing Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and all that kind of stuff. But this issue, Nick Fury has been working for the Maker as part of the HAND organization. It's not S.H.I.E.L.D., it's HAND, and that's an acronym. He calls together all of the big supervillains who are running the world.
Yep.
And he intends to betray them.
I think he calls the council with like the Rasputins and the Hulk and all them.
Yes, and he intends to betray them.
Good.
Wow, is this amazing? And then the last shot you get is the first appearance of Ultimate Wolverine.
Yeah.
A creation of the Rasputins.
Yep.
And he is called here the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. Sure is. I'm so excited to see what they do with this, especially considering like how they've been introducing the Wolverine stuff in the Ultimate Universe so far. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. I don't know if that's Bucky going through Weapon X or if that's a clone of Logan going through the Winter Soldier program or where that line is drawn. I'm incredibly excited. Also, this universe is a terrible place to live, this Ultimate Universe, but
it's awful.
Not compelling.
Deadpool Wolverine weapon extraction.
This is a culmination of a couple things, yeah?
Yeah, if you liked the Deadpool Wolverine movie, this is that movie.
Good.
In like a PG-13 form.
What are they holding? Let's see this cover a bit. What is happening in it? Are they in candy? Are they in a multiversal rift? What is this?
Yes.
Oh, Daniel has a comment here about Ultimate Wolverine. In the free,
there was an Ultimate Wolverine in the original Ultimate Universe.
Mm-hmm.
That does no more. This is the original. This is the first appearance of the Ultimate Wolverine of this universe, and he is a very different creature.
And if you read the Free Comic Book Day issue that came out last year, they have the Ultimates, like the team with Captain America and Iron Lad, walking through like a hallway with like the Golden Age Vision and the Sentry and like Hawkeye's abandoned costume. And there is a skeleton, an adamantium skeleton belonging to a Weapon X, but that is all we have seen of it. And then the Ultimate X-Men that we've seen so far have not brought up very much about Wolverine, if not anything at all, I don't think. So this would be a jumping off point. And the Ultimate Wolverine book that comes out in a couple months, or whenever that is, has the Ultimate Kitty Pryde and Gambit, and I'm very excited to see them.
One thing I would like to point out about this book is, where'd it go? Okay, yeah. This name right here, Ryan North. This is written by the same guy who writes Fantastic Four and who wrote Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. The sense of humor is here.
Okay.
It is huge. This is a funny book.
I was real hesitant until you said that. I was real hesitant until you told me who wrote it. Okay. I would like one, please.
The relationship between these guys, the frustration of Wolverine, the complete inability to recognize that frustration as valid by Deadpool. This is a funny book. It's bizarre. It's weird. It's so weird. In that way that only Deadpool could be weird. I would like to show this one picture, this one panel of what he's doing to the Hulk.
Is that a hydraulic press?
Pretty much.
Oh my god. Look at Abomination in the corner. Oh no.
Anything that can happen in this book happens in this book. It's so bizarre, but it's so funny. I think you guys would like it.
Hydraulic press to the throat. That's a terrible fate.
In the mouth.
Yeah.
In the mouth.
God, that's horrible. Poor guy.
He's the Hulk. He'll get over it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he has every right to be mad about it.
I'm telling Tom that you also want Deadpool Wolverine weapon extraction.
That just surprises me, to be honest. I'm not the biggest Deadpool person, but if it's Ryan North and it's him doing comedy, I'm there. Squirrel Girl, I think, is one of my favorite comics like ever, and that makes me very happy.
Apparently, in the Marvel Rivals video game,
I was just about to say,
she is OP.
She's so good. She's so good, and she's voiced by Lily from the AT&T commercials, who was supposed to play her in live action for a pilot that never got picked up.
Interesting.
When like Freeform was doing Cloak and Dagger, they had a New Warriors script that got a pilot, and she was supposed to play Squirrel Girl, and it didn't happen. But she's voiced Squirrel Girl for like the last 5 years since.
Well,
like, various cartoons.
Squirrel Girl was not in the New Warriors, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
All right, this next book is one. It's from a publisher called Ablaze, which is a small independent press publisher. It sounds like one of us is in the car, and neither of us is in the car. Is anybody else hearing that?
My heater is really loud. It's probably that.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. All right. I just had this sudden impression. I'm like, neither of us is in the car. What's going on?
Our microphones are weirdly sensitive today.
Okay. But this is a small independent publisher, and I ordered this because this cover looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Parliament of Rooks.
It's got kind of a Sandman-y vibe.
It's got kind of a Sandman vibe. It's got some Edgar Allan Poe going on.
Yes.
I'm like, what is happening here? What? We lost Aaron. He just disappeared. Disappear!
I was turning off my heater and getting water.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, no more buzzing sound and more agua for me.
Anyway,
yes.
So this has a look of some Edgar Allan Poe, some Sandman. But when you read it, that is not what this is at all.
Huh?
This is like a gothic romance. Almost the entire thing told in flashback. I think it only has 2 or 3 pages that have much in the way of color on them at all. It's mostly black and white, or mostly gray wash, actually. But it's like a gothic romance in a different world. It's not our typical Earth. It starts with this ghost, more or less, coming into the window of an old woman who is on her deathbed,
Huh.
and he doesn't look any different than he did when he was younger. And then the ghost kind of fleshes out, and he looks like this.
That's horrifying.
But kind of awesome.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Yeah,
It's like this raven person in a suit of armor, and you're like, okay. But then it becomes this kind of fairy tale story, and it's intriguing. It's fascinating. It's just not what I was expecting. So I kept walking away from it going, what did I just read? But I mean, the artwork is beautiful. I mean, look at this.
Oh, that's stunning.
It's just lovely. I mean, look at her playing this harp.
Oh no, this is very, very fairy tale-ish.
It's extremely fairy tale. The art is gorgeous. He's essentially an architect, but he's not noble. She's the princess. She wants him to design something. Her dad is like, get away from my daughter, you peasant. And then things go kind of the way you might expect, except that he gets shot and killed.
And turns into some crazy night raven ghost.
Turns into that.
Why does he kind of look like Nightmare?
It does look like Nightmare. But then you see he just wakes up back at home like, boy, that was a weird dream. That was so strange. But then at the end, it kind of turns into this Jack the Ripper murder mystery kind of a thing. It's utterly bizarre. It's like 7 different things, not one of which is what I thought it was going to be. And it's awesome.
How many issues is that going to be?
I think it's 5.
That's very cool.
So good. I just was like, I think we ordered 4 or 5 copies because I wanted one and Alan wanted one because Alan thought this was going to be the same thing I thought it was going to be. More Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
Maybe. Definitely not fairy tale romance. Jack the Ripper crossover.
Fall of the House of Usher? That's the guy doing Clayface.
Wait, the guy who made the House of Usher TV show?
Yeah, that's the guy writing Clayface.
Who did Midnight Mass?
Yeah, that's the guy writing Clayface.
I'm in. Why didn't you tell me that?
I started with the earlier shows. I forgot that you liked that one.
Those were both awesome. Yeah. Just in time for Christmas, if you like Cruel Universe and you like Epitaphs from the Abyss, just in time for Christmas, we get the first issue of Shiver Suspense Stories. Again, the old EC style of horror comics set in a modern style, modern tone. This artwork, though, this cover, so Christmassy. She looks so happy, and yet she's stabbing the heck out of that dude. You're like, okay.
I didn't even process that at all. I was so distracted by the spelling of suspense stories.
Yeah, that was a thing they did in the 50s, crime suspense stories, and yeah. But this has got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. The second story is called The Last Ornament, and it's by Jason Aaron.
Oh, good. Big fan.
But if you like the style of the old EC horror comics, and you like the current, incarnations of Cruel Universe and Epitaphs from the Abyss, this is more of the same kind of thing, just in a different. It's like they're collecting those kind of horror stories in their nice little niche genres. I see why you would say that was an Alan Hughes cover or Adam Hughes cover, but I don't believe that it is. I certainly don't see his signature on there. Let me see who did this cover. Cover B by Adam Hughes. You're right.
Got it. One.
I just didn't see his signature on it. Yeah. I'm getting text here. Let's see. So let's see. Yeah, good eye there, Mike. I know I keep singing about this. I'll give up. You guys don't care. Spectacular Spider-Man is a consistently fun book. It's Miles Morales and Peter Parker. They meet up for coffee to like talk about stuff. They end up get sucked into doing other things. Miles Morales constantly rags on Peter for being old.
Yeah.
And Peter, it's so meta where Peter's like, he says, man, it sounds like you've been making that joke for 60 years. He says, it does feel like I've been making that joke for 60 years. Like, haha, because you have.
Yeah. I admittedly I read the first like 4 issues, I think. And then I jumped off of it and I didn't plan on getting back on, but I'm willing to hear you out on this.
It took a weird turn with the overly long and complex arcade story.
Yep.
It was like that just got too weird and it went on for too long. That should have been resolved way faster. It felt like the story got stretched out to make it to a 6-issue trade.
Yep.
And that was really unfortunate. I wish that it hadn't done that because it went from being a book that I could absolutely recommend for like a kid coming in saying, I like Spider-Man, what can I read? And I say, you can read this and you're going to love it. It started that way, but then it became you wouldn't understand this. I've been reading comics for 40 years and I don't understand what's going on in this. It got really convoluted. But since that story arc ended, it has gotten more back to what it was at the beginning.
Is it an ongoing now, or is it like a 12 issue?
It's always been an ongoing.
It's always been an ongoing. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I think in the 4 issues that I had read, every issue ended with a reveal of a different villain being involved in like the conspiracy element running through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, and now Rhino's in on it, and Jackal's in on it, and Craven's in on it, and Arcade is in on it, and Hammerhead's in on it. Maybe not Craven, but like Hammerhead's in on it. And I was like, they keep doing this every week. How many? But if that has ended and they are doing it ongoing, and it's because I love the vibe of it. I love the Peter Miles dynamic of it very, very much. And as long as they keep Kamala Khan's name out of that book, I'm very happy because they did not do my girl any justice. Love her, but that was not
fair. That's fair.
But I'll jump in. Is this a good starting point? Is 10 a good starting point?
I would go back to 7 probably if you want to start the beginning of this particular story.
Okay, because then I was also like, they are talking about the gods again. Like they have the gods on that issue, on the cover of that, and I was like,
that's correct.
They're bringing them back. Okay, I didn't think we were doing past that initial
setup. It's a guest star from the god. That's correct.
That was what really intrigued me too, because I was like, guest star, not a short story on the last 4 pages, like in it.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
No, so they got me. I'm back.
Mike says his signature is hiding behind one of the lintels.
That's really clever.
Oh, it's way down there at the bottom, right on the wood of the. He's right. Mike, you got a killer eye, brother. Good for you.
Love it.
Seance in the Asylum.
Ooh.
Which we ordered kind of for the same reason that we ordered a Parliament of Rooks.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the kind of book that was cool and interesting, and this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. This one was not a bait and switch into something else, which luckily turned out to still be good. This book is awesome. My only complaint with this book, and it's less so in this issue than it was in the previous issue, but it is still present, is there's 2 things. One, it's got this whole Civil War, my dearest Martha, today we're heading in, but the script that they use to write is darn near illegible, and it's way too small. Yeah. And it's especially too small given that they have plenty of room in the panels to make it bigger.
Yep.
That's one thing. The second thing is one of the characters. His speech is always like a relatively dark bluish grayish text in a black word balloon. There's not enough contrast, so it gets really difficult to read like that.
Oh, I see.
It's like when you're holding the book this far away, it's just hardly legible. You have to be this close.
You got the symbiote word bubble
to be able to read it.
Yeah.
I have never been mad at a comic before over the way they chose to do the lettering. But this comic is infuriating on that point. It's like, come on. But that said, the story is really, really solid. The basics of the story is it's a post-Civil War asylum.
Yep.
Sanitarium. And they bring in this woman who is a medium to, because the country was in this whole metaphysical thing at the time, right? So they bring this woman in as a medium to see if spiritual therapy can help these people who are shell-shocked or whatever, right? Just insane. And so she starts with a seance, and it's kind of a comedy of errors. But then she does a seance, and it works. And the problem is, this woman is a total fraud.
Oh. How
it
many
shouldn't have worked. So now she doesn't know what to do. And she goes to confess to the guy running the place, and he's like, no, I know you're a fraud. That's why I brought you in, so we could make people feel better, even though this is all BS.
How many spirits be unleashed?
What? But yes, now spirits have been unleashed.
Yeah. How many?
Not many, but enough.
I was worried it was like battalions and battalions worth of people.
No, it's not like Ghostbusters. There's not a million of them, but you don't need a million of them. It's more like Alien. You just need one.
Good.
And it's horrifying. It's got that whole time period horror thing going really, really strong, and the art is very early Mike Mignola with a little bit of a slightly more cartoony look than Mike Mignola would have in some cases. But this is a really good book. I think you would probably want to read the trade, because this is 3 issues into, I think, 4 or 6. I forget which.
Yeah, no, I'm in. This sounds awesome.
But I think you would enjoy this read if you could read it.
My young eyes. I will still do what I can.
Rant over.
I'll have a better look at it.
They've been doing a timeless book every year,
which is an odd choice to do as their annual, but yeah.
Well, this year they're doing this.
It's Miracle Man this year, right? Oh.
It's TVA.
Wait, is this the TVA book that's just their normal, like the TVA book that they've been advertising with like Gwen Stacy, or is this timeless?
This just came out. It's a one-shot.
Oh, so this is not the Gwen Stacy thing.
No. And they've got some very interesting... they clearly use some interesting references for the art.
Yeah.
For example, this is very clearly grown-up Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what he looks like now.
Implying trying to be Owen Wilson as Mobius from the Loki show?
It could be that too. But then this is also very clearly Leonard Hofstadter.
No, that's Kihei Kwan a little bit.
No.
Yeah. No, I disagree with you on this.
Maybe a little. Maybe a little.
That's Wonmi Masako in the corner. That's Owen Wilson. I get it.
It's interesting. You're like, I don't know what you people are doing, but
nah, that's the Loki gang. Canonized the Time Variance Authority in the comics.
But this is a bizarre book, which one might expect. It's just Miss Minutes, and then you meet Mr. Second. I think that's his name.
And I was going to say Mr. Minutes.
Yeah, but also it has.
Yeah. Is this like a setup for the ongoing that they're doing?
It's a setup for the Power Man book, which they introduced last year.
Yeah, with the Iron Fist. That's a Moon Knight, or the Moon Knight. That's an Iron Fist. I think it's Danny. So I think the Iron Fist is the Moon Knight. I guess is the better way to express that. And then because they were talking about, I didn't read last year's, but I remember the cover having Luke Cage and Iron Fist on it, in like their 2099 Off in the Future version. And then I remember it ending with teasing Miracle Man's return, but I don't know if he ever did, or if he did, it wasn't in the next Timeless. Maybe there was like a mini that they did that I missed.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, that TVA book is really fun. It's like Spider-Gwen, Captain Carter, a Gambit thing they're doing in some capacity.
Yep.
And Miss Minutes with like a battalion of clones. That looks interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with that. What is this?
This is a limited series, 5 issues, I think. This is what I talked about a couple of months ago, or a month and a half ago. I got to read a preview, retailer preview of the first issue of this.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, we had quite a few people sign up for the book. It's Batman as a detective.
Thank God.
Like, oh, hallelujah. It's him trying to figure out what's going on. And you meet this new villain, is definitely what he is, although that seems like the wrong word. This dude is super messed up. And Batman can't really do anything about it.
Like he's messed up, or he's like messed up.
I'll just show you a picture of what he looks like.
Oh God.
So, as Batman says, his flesh is a tapestry of near fatal self-mutilation. I can't hit him without killing him, but he can hit me, and he does.
Is that like Victor Zaz's like twin brother or something?
We'll find out.
That's wow. What's his name? Does he have a cool supervillain name?
Not yet.
Word.
But it's fascinating. He's kind of like, he's a murderer in the same kind of way as like in the movie Saw.
Yeah.
Or not Saw. That's totally the wrong one.
Apologies if you can hear my goats.
Oh, it's okay. What was the movie I'm thinking of? It was Brad Pitt. What's in the Box? Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh God. Don't say this. I'm
you
failing.
know the movie I'm talking about, right?
I do. I can see it as clear as day.
Whatever, the title just ran right away from me. Somebody in the chat
Hang
tell
on.
me that.
Oh Lord. This is embarrassing.
But Bruce finds some documents of some guy called the Wound Man.
7. It's 7.
7, that was it. That's
All
why I said Saul, because I had the S.
But
like, he finds some document of a guy called the Wound Man.
The Wound Man.
Who thinks he's healing people by torturing them in this way, because he does this to himself, right?
This is so fascinating. Oh, I like this a lot.
It's really interesting. And this is the same artist who is doing Absolute Wonder Woman. I dislike his art on Absolute Wonder Woman, but it's great for this.
I like the art in Absolute Wonder Woman for the Aiea scenes, like with Cersei, and for like the kaiju designs. So I'm here for this.
But this is very, very good. I read this first issue and immediately wanted to read the second one.
Okay.
Because this is very much a it's a mystery, and Batman is solving the mystery.
So the Wounded Man seems like some piece of like archaic lore that we've had as a people that we've just kind of collectively forgotten about. Like that seems like something that somebody dug up, even if it is.
That's exactly what it looks like. Yes.
Like that feels like something that correlates.
It's like a sin eater, right? The guy who will like take all the evil that you've done and he'll consume it and suffer that for you. And same kind of thing. Really interesting.
That's
really interesting.
Cool. Also, maybe it's just because I saw the Penguin semi-recently, but like introducing a villain through serial killer angle and giving them like a cool nickname immediately with like Sophia Falcone and the Hangman. Like, I love that kind of stuff.
Did you love Penguin?
I loved Penguin.
Did the ending break your heart?
That ending is messed up. That ending is sick and twisted. And
when I say that ending is so of Mice and Men, right?
It's heartbreaking and it's gross. It's a gross ending.
Yeah.
Like my feelings hurt. Not my feelings are hurt. They hurt. My feelings are hurting presently.
Batman Santa Claus, Silent Night Returns. This was a 4-issue limited series last year. It's a 4-issue limited series this year. It's weekly. It's last year was kind of a total surprise. Like, there's no way that can be good. That's got to be just dumb. And it was good, right? Not like award-winning awesomeness, but it was good. It was fun. This year, this is fun. This is a great book.
Is this a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer man on the cover? What is happening on the cover? I've not read anything pertaining to this, but I do love Santa Claus being thrown into superhero fiction. I love when She-Hulk did it in the 80s. I love when the X-Men 100% that Santa's a mutant.
You will also like some of the things that happen in this book then.
I love like otherworldly, larger-than-life media trying to explain away Santa Claus into their world building. I think it's really fun every time they try.
So you got Zatanna.
Amazing.
And Robin.
I'm there. Zatanna at Christmas. Perfect. My boy. My boy. I love you, Robot Man. I love Robot Man so much. Cliff Steele. Sorry, you can't just show me a new page of this and it's Etrigan the Demon in a Santa Claus book. What?
I just turned the page from the one you just looked at.
Every page, there's a new one of my favorite DC characters ever.
I'm telling you, in this issue, it was just like bam, bam, bam. Why isn't Aaron reading me?
That's Are they in all of them? Are they in the first 4 issues as well? And then the other 2
Well, this is issue 3, and so they're showing up now.
Oh, I see. They're not like part of the whole thing. Okay.
Kind of a little bit, but it's getting into it.
Is he in the whole thing?
Huh?
Is Zatanna in the whole thing?
No.
Dang.
No. But it's well worth it. It's a lot of fun. And I think we have a trade on the shelf of the first story arc from last year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know what I'm doing Saturday.
Transformers continues to be awesome. Don't know what else to say about that.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Let's see here. What else we got? This continues to be strange.
I've not touched it yet. I'm very excited.
It's a very strange take on Iron Man. And artistically, it's kind of manga. It's kind of
beyond Big Sword.
Yeah, it's kind of fantasy.
Okay.
This particular issue, the art style, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it'll come through here, but you can. It's got the old dot matrix color printing. That you can see all the tiny dots that make the colors.
Oh, that's not showing through on camera, but
it's like looking at a comic book from 1982.
That's awesome.
Is
the whole book?
And it's only in flashback sequences.
Oh, okay, good.
Which is a really cool touch.
That's a really nice way to do that too.
But it's awesome. A weird book, and I still don't know if I like it. But I like it enough to see what's going on because it's interesting.
That book was
Iron Man's not usually interesting to me.
No, that book was advertised to me as like a Pulitzer-winning journalist, right? Or like some journalist who's done some huge like expose on a titan of industry that won like massive like global news awards for it writing an Iron Man book in which he has a giant sword. I don't know the specifics of the case or like the specifics of what the author got into, but I'm like, this is a man that's done like real change in some capacity writing an Iron Man book against like Iron Man v Roxxon involving a giant Cloud from Final Fantasy sword.
Mm-hmm.
And no parts of that sentence make sense to my brain. So I'm like, I'm in question mark.
Let's see. Do we have any other comics that we just
That's
need
a
to
sentence
talk
that derails
about
many times.
in this stack? Are there any others we just need to talk about? No, I think that's good. I think we're done with that for the evening. I do have a couple other things to show off real quick, though.
Okay.
Corbin Michael Delaney, who he does a ton of artwork, and every year during Halloween and during Inktober, he does some villains or what have you, and then he does Christmas stuff. And I have been getting all of the artwork that he has done for when he does anything to do with the Disney Robin Hood cartoon.
Yes.
So I've got Robin, Maid Marian, Lady Cluck. I've got Sir Hiss. I have Prince John. I have Little John. It's great.
Sir Hiss.
One of his Christmas ones he just did, and it's a watercolor, so the paper, I need to frame this, is Robin Hood in disguise.
Yes.
How great is that?
That's such a good piece.
Also, because I've always loved her and had a bit of a crush, there's Belle.
Oh.
And from his Halloween one, I couldn't resist.
If it's Dr. Facilier, I'm going to fall out of this chair.
No, it's not a Disney character.
Oh, okay. I'm going to fall out of the chair anyway. Oh my God, that's so cool.
How great is that?
Oh. If I saw that exact image tattooed on someone, I wouldn't be surprised.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's an amazing piece.
But I just got those, and I'm very excited for those. He's still got a few pieces from the Christmas one, I think, that have gone unclaimed. So if you want to check out Corbin Michael Delaney on Facebook, look at his art and see what's going on. Here's one that you haven't seen yet from Chris Mooneyham, who's been doing G.I. Joe. Mm-hmm. Look at that expression on Baroness's face. It's so her. Like she just smelled something bad and had to shoot it, but the smell is still there. It's fantastic.
That's exactly what that is.
I got this Destro from Jamie Sullivan not too long ago. Look at that.
That's so cool. What?
Isn't that awesome? Let's see if I have anything else up here I just haven't shown off yet. Let's see.
On screen.
Here's the Lady Cluck I was talking about.
Good. Slamming the football down. That's awesome.
It's fantastic. I love it. I'm not an artist, but I enjoy supporting artists.
Yes.
I enjoy the things they create. I think it's wonderful.
Yes.
And okay, Mike, you're right. We do need to talk about tomorrow's in-store appearance before we sign off. We have a comic book creator, no lie, legitimately the hottest comic book creator in the country, nay, probably the world, is coming to Haven Comics tomorrow from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock to do a signing. And that is Mark Spears, creator of Mark Spears Monsters. On coverprice.com 2 weeks ago, it might have been 3 at this point, they do a top 10 like hot books, and then they do the backup top 10, so it's really a top 20. Mark Spears had 9 of the top 20 books, And they reached out to him like, dude, this has never happened before, where one creator has had this many of these books. I mean, like nowhere even close to this. And then the next week he had 8 of the top 20. It's just insane. The stuff that he's doing. His books are going like hotcakes. And what's really fascinating is issue number 4 is where the story's good. It's really, really good. And the first issue has got a nice little twist. And then the second issue builds out from that. And the third issue builds out. But issue number 4 is where the story really takes off. And so people haven't even got to the part where the story really takes off yet.
That's awesome. This is so awesome.
But here's another fun thing for you. I don't know why I'm still in Big End. We should be the same now. Because we're not showing off comic covers.
Okay.
So the first issue sold about 11,000 units was what was ordered, which was huger than anything Keenspot had ever put out before, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Any comic book in this day and age, the first issue gets ordered here. The second issue gets ordered here. Well, the first issue got ordered here, and the second issue got ordered here. Well, I'm going to have to lower these. So for this purposes, the first issue is ordered here.
Yep.
The second issue is ordered here. That doesn't happen, right?
Yep.
The third issue was ordered here. That definitely doesn't happen.
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
it could not happen to a nicer guy. He is just an absolute sweetheart of a guy. And I'm so happy for him, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so excited for him. But he's coming to Haven tomorrow to do a signing. It's pretty awesome. Looking forward to that a whole lot. So he'll be there from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So come out, bring comics if you got them. If you don't have them, we still have plenty of Mark Spears comics. Come get him to sign something for you. He'll do a little remark on there. It'll be great. But he's an awesome guy. You're absolutely right, Mike. Mark is one of the good guys. And I'm so glad to see him succeeding. I really, really am. But that's tomorrow, Friday, December 20th, from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Come on out. He may or may not be meeting with an agent who represents some voice talent tomorrow at Haven 2. I'm just saying. Voice talent who manages a voice that everybody on this call will know. I can't say who it is, but
I'm going to need you to text me that, please.
I can do.
Thank you.
But yeah, so come out to the shop tomorrow, pick up some comics. It's going to be awesome. We will not be holding the show next week. There's this little thing called Christmas, and we're going to take the day off afterwards. But we look forward to seeing you guys back in 2025. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's insane.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, no doubt.
Big sci-fi, Back to the Future, and then some part year.
I mean, there was a song even in the year 2525. That's still a ways off, but 2025.
We got a couple centuries before then.
2025 still is close enough, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's good stuff. Merry Christmas, you guys. Happy New Year. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Saturday at the shop. Really looking forward to it.
It's gonna be awesome.
And God bless us, everyone.
Everyone.
Y'all have a great night.
Awesome.